Actually, it's the lead play in our offense.
Tell the tackle to take the defensive end. If he's over him, if he's not, you drive down the first man to his inside. Pull back and tell him to take the first man outside the offensive tackle. No one shows. Go right by them and field inside. If the YN has the linebacker taken out, he cuts inside. If the YN has the linebacker in, he comes all the way around. If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. You can find me on Twitter at Packers_access. If you want to email the show, you can reach us at PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com. You can text the show at 865-658-5824. I'm joined alongside Tim live in Green Bay. We got Emilio down in Tennessee. And Emilio down here keeping Sam Adams in business. I'm just going to say that. We'll leave it at that right there. He's slamming chicken tenders at the last second, right at the buzzer. But we have got a absolute packed house here in the chat. So first of all, let's go around the horn here. Tim, I know you having that late night coffee, ain't you, man? How you doing tonight?
Yeah, man. Just trying to stay perked up here. Got my good luck coffee mug.
Got to do what you got to do, man.
No, feeling good, man. Feeling good. How about you, fellas? How you doing for a Friday?
No, I'm doing great, man. Emilio, you hanging in there, dude?
Got through the day of work. Glad I got to talk to you guys this morning. Gave me some energy to get through it. Good to go.
Yeah. Emilio got that haircut, ready for a Friday night. Look at him. All cleaned up, nowhere to go, Tim. Look at my guy.
All cleaned up to talk on pod. Here we go.
Right, exactly. All right, we got a couple super chats here from Josh Martin. Let's get to it. He's bringing all the inside information. Thank you for the super chat, Josh. He says, I drive to Pittsburgh every day for work. I listen to their sports talk radio. They aren't hopeful that Hayward plays because of his growing injury, so that could potentially be good news for the Packers, right? Sounds like pretty much, very much so in the air. And then Josh Martin with another super chat. Thank you, buddy. He said, also on Sports Talk, they alluded to that Pickens gives away the plays sometimes too. When he's not going to get the ball, they say he jogs his routes. Glad Watson doesn't act like that. Yeah, Pickens is one of those guys. He's got all the talent in the world, but he's definitely been a bit of a head case. I know in Georgia he got into a lot of trouble. I think it was Georgia he played at, right? Am I thinking right, guys? Where did he play?
Pickens was Georgia, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Wherever he played, I know he got into an altercation with a coach, or I think he punched a coach or something.
Mm-hmm.
And, obviously it's just one of those things that's kind of followed him around. But, it doesn't surprise me one bit if he's jogging his routes when he's not getting the ball or not even getting looked at. So,
right.
Josh, thank you so much for the info. Thank you for the super chat there, buddy. Let me just let's start there, Tim. Do you are you any bit worried about the guys on this offense? I know we kind of talked about it earlier in the week, and I'll pull it up again right here just to kind of show you their nickel defense and talking about Pickens. Does anybody worry you here as far as them being able to push the ball down the field on our defense?
Johnson, I guess, might, if we're going just off of grades, right? Right. 80, 81. But I feel good about Valentine. I don't think I can say enough about Carrington Valentine. I think he's going to do great. And I think this is a good challenge for him and for us to get a good barometer on, how legit he really is. I think we all are in agreement that he is that guy potentially here. He looks like, another guy with little to no ceiling. But, Pickens, I don't know. Is it just hype? I don't know what's scary about him. Of course, not having Ja might make things a little interesting for our secondary.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look at the offense, I would think Harris and Johnson are probably your biggest concerns.
Yeah. What do you think, Emilio?
I'm to Josh's point, man. I'm glad Watson has a different head on him than that, but I also think that's, a point to Goody and the whole staff there at they pick, well-rounded people. They don't dive into those kind of cases very often, if rarely. So, somebody that like that, they take plays off, you can see it. And then that doesn't end well for the other players on the team. And after a while, it gets old that the one dude is always, popping out before we finish sprints, or he's cutting out on a play. He doesn't want to block the dude if it's off, if it's going to the other side, and one of those days is going to come to bite him.
Definitely. And since we're kind of on the subject, you brought up Ja there, Tim. Rob Demoski tweeted this out earlier. He said, Packers likely to be shorthanded in the secondary again, but sources say IR is not likely for Jair Alexander. So he most likely will miss Sunday's game. It's sounding like anyway. But with that being said, they don't expect it to be more than 1 or 2 games. Of course, hey, we've all been here before, right, Tim? I still haven't got confirmation if it's the same shoulder or not. Have you heard anything about that?
No, I haven't. They've been pretty tight-lipped, to my understanding. We're just hearing shoulder.
I'm pretty sure Jim was trying to break the door down today, and they just wouldn't give him any answers.
Yeah,
Who was it?
I tried to get as much info as I could. It just,
gotcha.
not happening. Yeah, they say shoulder as if there's not 2 of them to. But I think what we just talked about. Showtime. Aaron Jones. It's the same kind of thing, right? Like, this is going to be a week-to-week process for a lot of our players. Really, nagging injuries can be a pain to deal with, and then you get new injuries. This could be a new injury. I don't know. We already knew he was dealing with the back, so now the back seemed to be okay, and now we have a shoulder problem. And it sounds a lot like Devondre Campbell coming back from one ankle injury and then hurting another ankle and setting himself back. I think it's good news, right? IR is not likely, but it's not good news that he's not playing. We need him on the field, right? So, right. But hey, next man up. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, Emilio said Tim was outside of the press conference room there, banging on the door. LaFleur said, "Who is that out there? Is that crazy fan again?" This was Tim's response.
You call me anything you want, but don't call me that.
There it is.
I'm gonna grow my hair out like that too, guys.
That would look good. That would look good too.
It really would, man. Get that Kentucky waterfall, dude.
That's wishful thinking, man. I got that hairline that's going backwards, so I don't know.
That's all right. All the hair's in the back anyway, Tim. All this is back there. That's where we need it all anyway.
You're gonna make me spit out my baddie soda. I mean my coffee.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Are you trying to tell me that's not really coffee in that mug?
But you know how we do, man. Come on now.
All right.
Friday night.
Here's the final injury report. All right. Give me a minute. This could take a little bit of time here. All right. But Jair Alexander did not participate. They got him listed as doubtful. Everyone else is listed as questionable or came off of the injury report. Okay. So I'm not going to mention the ones that aren't listed with game status. I'm assuming they're going to play. All right. I'm sorry. Quay Walker is doubtful as well. But other than that, you've got Kenny Clark questionable, Rudy Ford questionable, Josh Myers questionable, Yosh Nijman questionable, and John Runyon questionable. So like I said, the 2 doubtfuls there are Jair Alexander and Quay Walker. Probably a pretty good chance neither of those guys go. And then, of course, like we talked about, Elton Jenkins, Aaron Jones, and Christian Watson seem to all be ready to go. So as far as on Pittsburgh's side, Montravius Adams, their defensive tackle, he is out. Minkah Fitzpatrick is out. Don't want to see anybody get hurt. Don't take it the wrong way, but that's great news for the Packers, right? And let's see, everyone else has pretty much had their status lifted, so they're planning on going. And that's what's crazy is because, it sounded like what Josh Martin said there with the Super Chat, the local radio, seems to think that they're kind of doubtful that Cam will go. Cam Hayward, he's listed as limited and doesn't have a game status. Now, maybe they're holding that game status too. Yeah. So that could be the case as well. But anything stick out to you there, Tim?
I think sometimes, fans, we can jump the gun, especially if we're, not really checking these injury reports and we see things like limited, and you just think, oh, okay, he's out. Well, maybe it's going to be a game time decision. He could be a late addition. We see late scratches all the time. He could be a late addition up until, a few hours before kickoff or whatever. But I think the thing that spoke to me is Minkah Fitzpatrick for sure, confirming our suspicions, he's not going to play. So I guess we're even then in our secondary. They're down Minkah Fitzpatrick, we're down Ja. So it is what it is. We got to play through it, right? And I fully expect everyone else to go, like you said, Clayton, on our side, other than Quay and Jair. hopefully this groin issue is not super serious. This is 2 weeks now with Quay missing. Hopefully this is just precautionary so he can get back at home for the Chargers.
Yeah. Don't quote me, but I think in Matt's interview I was listening to earlier that he said that it's not a long-term thing with Quay, but don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that's what he was talking about.
Okay.
I'll tell you, whether the Packers win on Sunday or not, we've already won on this podcast. Jake Shavink's back in the house. So,
we brought him back. I thought we lost him last night.
Thank you for coming back, Jake. We thought the chat ran you off. It's good to have you, buddy. Good to
Did you see? We also got one guy going to their first Packers game. There it is.
Right there. Read it off for me, Emilio.
I'm going to my first ever Packers game this week. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, so I've never had the chance to go to one. Let me tell you, man, going to the first one was unreal. You'll get goosebumps driving down the road, seeing that G in the distance. And then once you walk into the stadium, we walked in the night before, and we went to 1919, and it was just looking around the atrium was unreal. Pro shop, you're going to want everything in there. Just bring your card. Get to the gates early the day of, walk around, check out the tailgates, get in there, try to get in there the first couple hundred. You get yourself a pair of glasses and get yourself a seat cushion because they are hard metal benches like at high school.
Yeah, and I may be misunderstanding him here, but where he says this week, I think he's talking about going to Pittsburgh, but I could be wrong. Regardless, though, we need to get him up to Green Bay because you're right. Everything you just said was absolutely spot on, bro.
That's a fact.
Hey, but that's cool though, because as a Packer fan, I'm kind of jealous, of Carson if he is going to Pittsburgh because I've always wanted to see a game there. I've actually never been to a Packers road game, and so I've always wanted to. There's a couple stadiums on my list that I'd like to go see a Packer game, and Pittsburgh is definitely high up on that list. So have a blast out there, man. Make sure you cheer loud and proud for the Pack.
The old Heinz Field.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now it's Acrisure Stadium. I'm like, no.
I'm going to call it Heinz. We'll call it Heinz forever. And we got another new sub over there, the East Side Leak.
East Side Leak. I can't tell. Yeah, I can't tell if he's country or if that's a rapper, but I love it either way, man. East Side Leak. New subscriber, us truck drivers appreciate the live stream. Salute. Hey, man, we appreciate those truck drivers out there making this country go, dude. You guys keep this thing going.
That's right.
And, we certainly appreciate you. Definitely want to give a shout out to all the veterans out there today, too. So,
and a birthday shout out, too. Speaking of which, I forgot to say that this morning. A happy birthday to the oldest branch of the United States military, the Marine Corps.
Yes, sir.
Happy birthday. November 10th, 1775.
Those devil dogs, baby, out there. Love it. Tim Reese in the chat says, Pickett passes to Pickens and gets picked off for a pick six. Sounds like the go. There you go. Hey,
there's our rapper right there.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. What would his rapper name be? Look at him. Get a good look.
Tim
Definitely
Reese.
white chocolate, right? It'd have to be white.
Reese Doggy Dog.
Reese Doggy Dog. Here it is.
I like that.
I do too, man. I know Reese said this.
You call me anything you want, but don't call me that.
Telling you, that guy is every other male Caucasian that I've been on Norris Lake with in Tennessee.
Got a country mullet under that hat.
He is 3 sheets to the wind. There's no doubt about it. All right, let's see what else we got in here, man. Let's see.
Chris N said, "What did I miss, y'all?" Omer said, "Not much yet." All right, Omer, we're getting there. All right, we're building up. We're building up to it.
Omer's over spitting truth. I'm sitting over here going, "We ain't going to the damn thing. We've been here for almost 15 minutes. Let's do it. Let's get into it." All right. So Mike Wall posted a video, and guys, make sure you go show him some love. Go retweet it. Find it on Twitter. Omer actually tweeted it as well. Make sure you let Mike know how much we like his content. Go to his YouTube page, Process to Perform. Give him a sub. Just absolutely phenomenal breakdown. He's going to talk a little bit about the defense. Now, listen, I didn't want to cut the whole video and steal all his thunder. I just want to show you guys a little clip here, okay? Just a little taste. Go check out the whole video because it's like 15 minutes long. A great breakdown. This is former NFL offensive lineman Mike Wall. Spent 11 years in the league. The majority of his career was with the Packers, made the Pro Bowl with the Panthers. He knows everything about playing offensive line at this level. But here's what he had to say, just a little 2-minute snippet of him talking about how Pittsburgh likes to move defenders around and cause confusion. All right. And I'm telling you, when Mike moves his mic, when you hear him move his mic, you know it's about to get good. He's about to settle in. All right. So here we go.
Looks, you see him. This is what they did early in the game. So they're in their 5-down look. They shift. They bring a safety down. Now, obviously, the Tennessee Titans are going to be run first. Kenny Pickett's a young quarterback. Like, we know the story here. So we don't know if we're going to see this necessarily, but they start playing Highsmith and they'll move wide and they'll play stand-up. And they're essentially forcing – there's just two things from an offensive standpoint. One, your count is now all kinds of jacked up because the offensive line, it's not like you're just blocking spots, especially in pass pro. You're blocking dudes. And at the first level. So, like, if 56 walks in, you have those 5 pass rushing guys. If 55 walks up to the line of scrimmage here, somebody's got to start doing mental gymnastics. But bottom line, this turns everything into a single block. And now you have a single block with the defensive end. The center has the stand-up defensive end over the top of him. He's probably thinking, now who's going to rise up and get 50 or 31? 31 drops into the box so that they've got an 8 in the box look here. So obviously they're going to, play some sort of single high man in the back, but the issue for a team trying to, establish a running game is like, I have no doubles and I have at least 1, if not 2 free runners on the running back now. Just by design, just by the way that they're running this defense. Like, what gap is the fullback going to sneak through here? Or what double team is going to get push against guys who are literally spending 3 practices a week learning how to defeat these single blocks out of kind of these 4-point stances, these 2 gap read stances. It's just a different kind of game. You see, it's like you think you got something there, and then it just completely shuts down. And Watt is not great in the run game. He's not bad. Like, he's elusive, but he's going to beat you by kind of slipping underneath or whatnot. Highsmith can run through your tight end. Highsmith's he can play. He can do it. He can do it all. He's a complete player. You got the play action, and they got man all over the board. And you just take a snapshot here. Who are you throwing to? I mean, there's absolutely. They are very comfortable. Now, if you play man, you will get beat.
Say it again.
Right? If your pass rush doesn't get home. Fortunately for the Steelers, their pass rush disrupts quarterbacks enough where they just don't feel comfortable in the pocket. You get to run. So they feel comfortable. They can play a lot of man, even against like a DeAndre Hopkins. Now, you look at this. You got 6 on the line of scrimmage. They're playing smashed up against the tight end here with the safety. You got 8 in the box. And they're just trying to get home. They're just trying to hurt this guy. And when you look at this, you do have a man open at the 45-yard line on the near hash to us, or from the bottom of the screen. But you just got to make great throws.
Love it. So just to kind of give you guys a glimpse, right, at how complex their defensive alignment is. And you've got guys that have been around for a while. You got a good blend of youth as well as veterans. Like he talked about TJ Watt, he's not great against the run. He's good against the run. He's not great. And then you hop over to Highsmith. Highsmith is actually a little bit better, according to Mike. If I'm not, I don't want to put words in his mouth. Sounds like he's a little bit better, if not just as good at playing the run as TJ Watt is, right? So those 5-man fronts, the 6-man front that they showed at the end, moving guys around, not being able to – it's one thing to not be able to get a double team like he's talking about in the running game. It's also another thing when there's going to be free runners in the running game, right? So how do you combat that? One of the things that come to mind for me, outside zone. This might be the game that you really lean on some outside zone, stretch it outside, look for the cutbacks, let them over pursue, and hit that halfback slip screen game. Let's slip screen all day long. You want to be aggressive, you want to act stupid, we're going to treat you like you're stupid. That type of thing, right? So what do you think, Tim, with what he said there? Anything stick out to you? To me, I think it's going to be, as far as the short game, outside zone, getting emotional, outside zone and screen passes. What do you think, man?
I would agree. And I jotted some quick notes. I mean, it was just great to hear him say, Pittsburgh defense thrives because they make quarterbacks uncomfortable in the pocket. And my first thought is like, well, good luck, Pittsburgh, because our quarterback's too damn comfortable in the pocket sometimes. So good luck.
Got a sofa back there.
Yeah. So if anything, this will be really, I mean, now I'm really excited to see these matchups. But no, he's got a great point. That's a great great breakdown there, because we see them. Yeah. If you play man, you'll get beat. It's like, yeah, well, Pittsburgh's clearly comfortable playing a little man here and there because the pass rush gets home and the pressure is there. And, great freeze frame. Who are you throwing to here? And their man coverage, that was single high, right? You got one safety, everybody's manned up, and they're all a half a step from their receiver at the most. So, we're running into the gauntlet. There should be no doubt about that. And, so is Pittsburgh's offense too. They're going to run into our quarters concepts and what we're going to try and do. But I'll tell you, offensively, it's going to be tough to get a run game going. But I think the most important thing we can do, kind of piggybacking off your point, Clayton, is, we got to keep it, close to home. And even if it's not really working, it's not a lot of yards, we got to stick with it like we did last week, because we didn't get big chunk plays last week, but we established a run, and it allowed us to do things in the passing game. And that's the best we can hope for against this Pittsburgh defense, I think. So
yep.
Good points by Mike Wall for sure.
Like I was saying earlier this week, they'll be in single high man. We have to take advantage of Christian Watson speed running down the sideline. I mean, there's going to be opportunities. We have to take advantage of it, and they like to run a NASCAR package. So, what I would like to see is if Joe Barry would practice a little NASCAR in practice and give him an eye for it, just to run our O-line through it. Because I know it was mirror week last week. Let's try to give them something that they're going to see this week, and let's try to put that into our, bag of tricks also. It would be cool, watching them walk around, Van Ness bringing him back inside, stand up sort of thing, just to mess with them, kind of see what happens. But that's going to be key. And like we've been saying, it always starts in the trenches, and they need to have a big game this week. They have to communicate. They have to talk, or else we're going to have problems.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Hey, Clayton, I got a question for you.
Yeah, man.
If they're going to be in single high and it's, it's not Fitzpatrick, it's, whoever, I don't know if you could pull that up, who their other safety is. But I guess my question is taking Emilio's point, using, Watson to kind of stretch the D a little. How do we scheme a way to occupy that safety without him just shading constantly over to Watson? Or do we allow that to happen and then we hit, other guys off of that?
Right.
It's the same. You're going to get the same answer from me from about 99% of your questions, Tim. If you go with a trips look, spread it out. That's why I love the spread. Yeah, right. If you go trips and you isolate Watson as the X, they can't go. If they go single high, they have to choose to either shade Watson. If they do shade Watson, right? If they do bend to that side and do a little bracket, then just attack with a flood concept on the other side. Maybe even a little pivot underneath, like we ran last week. We ran that wolf pivot where it was basically, imagine a trip set, right? 3 receivers on one side. The inside guy runs a deep corner. That was the Watson play where he the throw was behind him and he got hit and hurt. You have an out underneath it and then run a little pivot underneath that. The way you beat man coverage is double moves. That's the main way. Now, if you've got someone like a Devontae Adams, I'm just going to be honest, what I'm seeing in the early stages of Tay Wicks, they've got enough wiggle to beat, on technically one move, right? Like a slant, but he throws that little extra oomph on the inside before he hits the slant or before he hits the out. That's how you can beat man coverage. Now you got to be careful looking for robber, looking for what we call cover one hole, where a backer will drop down in the middle of the field as well. But again, you should know that, a split second into the play, you'll know, are they blitzing or are they dropping, right? Mm-hmm. But they do play a lot more man coverage than the old Pittsburgh defense does. However, they still do run some fire zone blitzes and things like that. But to answer your question, you got to isolate with odd looks out of your pass concepts, out of your formations, and you can do it out of Trey, right? Another thing that I'd like to see them do more with Musgrave is you can come out in 12 personnel and trigger their base and still go trips right. Mm-hmm. You can go that Trey right, And what I mean by that is have Tucker Kraft's hand in the dirt, have Musgrave flex into the slot, right? Y flex, and then have, your Z receiver on the boundary. You can approach it that way and still have Watson on the opposite side. Now you've got them in the base. If they go cover one man, you can still isolate with Watson. If the safety decides to bend towards the 3 side, right, where you got 3 targets, look to pop it over the top to Watson, right? Another thing you'll see out of those trips looks too is what we call strike, which is a concept where you'll kind of take that X receiver, that lone receiver on that side, bend them in like you're going to either run a climb or a post, right? And then take him back out on the corner. And as you take him back out on the corner, the goal there is to take the man coverage with you and pick the safety up along the way, and then have a little drive concept underneath, a drag, a dig, and you can kind of attack at layers, if that makes sense. That's the first thing that comes to mind for me. But again, I don't know if I'm the right person to ask him, because my answer to most of these questions are, hey, let's spread this thing out a bit here, man. Let's get out of these condensed sets, right? This isn't 1927. But that's just kind of the way I see it, man, for sure. I think Carly had a question in here about slip screens. Carly, it depends on who you ask, okay? I've always understood a slip screen as, just like in basketball, I think that's kind of where it originated from. The meaning of slip screen is when you engage, your offensive lineman engages, then breaks out, right? As where sometimes with a screen, they'll kind of drop back like it's just a normal pass set, and then they all bend out. So slip, to the best of my knowledge, and correct me if I'm wrong, and anybody in here, Jake, if you got a different meaning for it, that's the way I've always understood it. Aggressively engage with the defensive lineman and then slip, okay? Right. So
halfback slip screen. That's my favorite Madden play right there.
Oh, yeah.
that was going to be that was my explanation, Clayton, was, the kind of like a draw, engage for a second, split second, then kind of leak out. Even the running back, try to get down, step up like you're picking up pass protection, and then kind of just sort of leak out, 2 seconds into the play, a little bit later on. It's not right away.
Right. Paul Robertson in the chat says, at Carly Ray, slip screen is a lighter version of sunscreen. These comedians in here, let me tell you what, dude. Let's see here. Jake Shavink said, you got to feel like Pittsburgh's going to man up a lot against the young receivers. The Don must have a big game. I'm assuming he's talking about Don Wicks, right? Man, we got to stay in 11. I feel like that's the way you beat this team. I really do. If you run into, like he said, those 6-man fronts, and if you got a 6-man front, 90% of the time you're going to be facing an 8-man box. If we come out in a condensed set, and I swear if I see one sift, we've finally been moving the ball. If I see a sift, I'm turning my TV off. All right.
Especially towards TJ Watt's side.
About that, seriously. Now, I understand it. Hindsight's 2020. But there was a week where we thought, hey, guys, here's the plan. Max Crosby, right? Here's how we're going to attack him. We're going to leave him completely unblocked with the offensive line and have him crash in. And we're going to have 2 rookie tight ends come over and take care of him.
And if that doesn't work, he deals with Josiah DeGuara.
Exactly.
You got a game plan.
Yeah. I just want to see more 11 for sure. So, yeah.
I'd be fine with 1 personnel.
What's that?
I said I'd be fine with 1 personnel. No running backs, 1 tight end.
Whoo, I don't know.
Hey, out there.
What, man? It's been a while. Now you're going back to the McCarthy days, right?
I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
You come out in a 10 set. You coming out in that 10 personnel, and you go 2x2. Boy, it's like getting patted down on a traffic stop. You ain't got no choice but to tell the truth. They searching that car. You know exactly what's going on, right? Yeah. And when you do that, it also opens up a lot of belly plays. It opens up a lot of 0-1 trap, things like that, where you can really pound the ball between the tackles, especially if they're trying to get exotic with the front.
Just your luck, Emilio. We'll see it one time, and it'll be a design run with Jordan.
Yeah, quarterback draw. Yeah, part of the setup. Yeah, come on.
What if they break the speed option back out?
Well, I mean, think about it. If you're out there, 2 wide on each side, you got a safety over the top. They're running man. You're gonna have numbers to one side. But the thing is if they're running man all game, someone's got to make a play. Mm-hmm. It's got to happen. They're going to be in your hip pocket. Someone's got to make a contested catch.
Yep,
you got to see it.
Yep. Robert Allen's got a great one right here, man. He says crossers and picks. I'm telling you.
Hey, we don't do picks, right? Those are illegal.
Rub
routes,
it's
right?
Rub route.
Yeah. Yeah. You run some of those crosser meshes, and even you could go with some drag mesh with a little spot sit over the top. And what I mean by that is have, like, let's say you come out in the 2x2 that they like out of 11. Let's say you've got Z left, or I'm sorry, you got X left, slot left, right? You've got your Y attached to the line, and then you've got your Z far right, okay? And if you come out and let's say you run a little mesh play where the slot and the tight end either run a shallow cross or a little drag mesh, right? And then have the Z sprint like he's going to run a cross and just sit on a spot route, that can cause some serious confusion, especially if you put someone like Tay. It's just crazy that when we're thinking about these plays, the first person that comes to mind for me is a late round rookie. That's how good Tay's route running is looking.
Third on the depth chart, just hanging fourth on the depth chart, hanging out down there. Yeah. So our main guy we're looking for on this play is going to be 4-string depth chart on the in breaker. We're going to nail him.
Yeah. Yeah. And, again, if they're playing cover one man and they're showing these exotic blitzes, screen it, man. I'm telling you. Especially if they get aggressive and you've seen their interior defensive line isn't playing well this year, right? According to PFF, you screen away from TJ, go towards Highsmith, get you 2 or 3 blockers out in front, and hopefully those big boys in the middle don't read it, right? That's something I think we'll probably see a little bit of there too. So good stuff, good conversation. Let's talk about this since we're kind of on the pass rushers, right? Let's talk a little bit of pressure from Watt and Highsmith, okay? So right here, what you've got, this is pressure percentage, okay, according to SIS, and this is in the entire National Football League of any position, okay? This isn't just edge defenders. This isn't just outside linebackers. This isn't just interior defensive linemen. This is all of them, okay? TJ Watt is ranked 28th at 15.6. To put this into perspective, I believe Rashawn Gary's 11th. If I remember correctly. Not that matters here, but we're talking about trying to slow down their pass rush and how we're going to attack this defense, right? So TJ Watt is 28th at 15.6% pressure rate. And then if you slide down to 35th, you've got Alex Highsmith at 14.9% pressure rate. So you can see they're really effective. Both of them are basically starting caliber when it comes to that. Obviously, TJ Watt is. Dude's arguably one of the best players in the game, both offensively and defensively. If you took everybody and put him in a pool, he's probably going to be in the top 10 of players in the league. He's that good. So when you look at that pressure rate, what it's going to come down to, guys, is how do we stack up on the outside, right? How do we block these guys? How do we stop them? Well, on TJ Watt's side, primarily, he rushes off the left side from the defense's perspective, right side from the offense. Obviously, you put Zach Tom over there, right? That's who you got blocking him. So let's look at Zach Tom. And first of all, Paul Brettel put this out here earlier today. He said, by Sunday night, Zach Tom and the Packers O-line will have faced 8 of the top 25 edge rushers in pressures this season. Despite some difficult matchups through preparation, Tom has held his own. Quote, I just like how he's handled himself. That's what Adam Stenovich said, okay? And there's an article there. Go check it out from Paul. Again, he tweeted this out earlier. So let's look at a little bit of Zach Tom here, all right? Here is his overall blown block percentage, okay? So what does that mean? First of all, we broke this down to a minimum of 100 snaps, okay? So this isn't – you're not going to see anybody on this list that's got 8 snaps or 60 snaps. These are guys that have played at least 100 snaps, all right? So blown block percentage is obviously exactly how it sounds. It's the percentage of the time in which this player blows a block, okay? So obviously, if you do it in 100s, it'll give you a good gauge of just how effective they've been. So we sorted it by right tackles, okay? So out of all right tackles in the league, Zach Tom in overall blown block percentage, that's both run and pass, he is 4th in the league in right tackles. I'm going to say it again, 4th in the league. Late round pick, pretty much a minimum contract. Great job, Goody, on that pick. 1.9%. That basically means he has a 98% effectiveness rate, okay, when he's going up against both run and pass blocking, okay, from that perspective. Now, let's go a little bit deeper and look at pass blocking. That's kind of what we were just talking about, right? Blown block percentage for Zach Tom against pass blocking, he is 8th amongst right tackles, still very, very good, right? Borderline top 5 there at 2.7%. He's actually tied for 7th, okay? So excellent pass blocker. To put that in perspective again, 97 out of 100 snaps he's not blowing a block, right? It's hard to get much better than that. Let's go on to run blocking. He's 8th in run blocking as well. Okay. And he comes in at blown block percentage at run block 0.6%. 0.6%. So essentially, right at every 200 snaps is when he blows a block in the running game. Why we're not running right every single play is beyond me, because Zach Tom is a freaking technician over there. But when it comes to those numbers, you talk about those matchups, Tim, and again, we talked about that, pressure rate from both TJ Watt, 15.6%, Alex Highsmith, 14.9%. What do you think, man? I like the way we stack up on the right side, but just like what Mike Wall showed us, there's going to be some exotic looks. They ain't going to make it that easy.
Exactly. And I think Zach Tom's up for the challenge of Pittsburgh's front. And, seeing these numbers is exactly why I said the other night that, if we were in a pinch and we needed someone else to play center, please, no, not Zach Tom. Keep him on that right side and let that, maybe this is early, maybe I'm jumping the gun, but Zach Tom is to right tackle what Bakhtiari was to left tackle for us. And I think he is going to solidify this as his spot if he hasn't already done so, and he should stay there. So I think we need to entertain other options, be it Elton Jenkins or, maybe Sean Ryan. I don't know. Whoever else might be another option as a backup center. But I think, we're kind of in a rock and a hard place that we may not have any other option. But yeah, man, I agree. I think we should be running hard on that right side of the line offensively, especially on Sunday. Hopefully we'll see that, hopefully Coach LaFleur makes Packers Total Access a part of his preparation pregame so that he's aware.
He hears this accent, he'll be like, God, it's like razor blades on my ear. What do you think, Emilio?
I mean,
I didn't like that. Hold up. I don't like that.
No, I'm basically elite, man. There's nothing else we can say about him. I mean, he's been tearing it up. We're lucky to have him. If we didn't have him, our line would be in absolute shambles. So I think we need to take advantage that he is over there on that side, move the ball that way, maybe do some rollouts that way. If he feels more comfortable doing a blind play action to that side, let's do it. He's rolling out right anyway. Let's do a little bit more of that instead of, working to the other side or trying to sift over on a DN, something like that to hold the pass block,
Yeah, definitely. Paul Robertson in the chat said, what page is Josh Myers on? LOL. Well, you got to be like that, Paul.
It's still loading.
You got to be
hey, watch. Josh Myers is going to play like a monster on Sunday. Just watch.
Battle of the centers, right, Tim?
That's right. That's right.
All right, so that's kind of what we're looking at as far as the pressure. Do you guys want to hit anything else on PFF matchups? Anything at all before we move on? And kind of what I wanted to do was look ahead a bit and talk about the schedule upcoming, what opponents we got, and kind of where they rank PFF wise. But anything else you want to hit, Tim, as far as PFF matchups, Packers Steelers?
Can you pull up that their base and defense again real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. Bang. There you go, buddy.
Okay. So yeah, sorry, I got to do the old man gaze.
Emilio doing it too.
So Neil and what is that? What's 23? What's the other guy? Those are the Staceys, huh? All right.
Kaze, K-A-Z-E.
Okay.
Yeah, they already had Fitzpatrick off of this, so yeah.
Okay. All right.
But remember, they run one high a lot. So
that's what I'm saying. And so we got a 60, right? I mean, low 60s.
Yep.
And again, Scoot's grading out at 59.2. So, I mean.
Right.
Do you think Porter will be on Watson the whole time?
I would think if they're going to go man.
If they go man, yeah.
You think that he'll follow, I guess, would be more
that's a good question because
you think they're going to follow him all around?
Romeo's been getting a lot of that attention. He really has.
Right.
Because, again, every time that Watson's singled up, we can't hit him deep. And teams see that, guys. I'm not here to dog Love or LaFleur or anybody. Like, they look at that tape and go, you know what? I like our chances. Make him throw it deep, right?
Until we connect, though.
Exactly.
And we connect with consistency. You know,
So,
that
like,
happened last year. Everybody talked about that stupid drop in Minnesota week 1 last year.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we remember how last year ended, and we started connecting on those shots. And you know, Jake Schvink brought that up last night, man. Shot play city here. Opportunities galore, hopefully. And you know, hey, the more chances you take, the more opportunity you have to connect, man. You know, you can't let these guys live on rep, you know, like
Right.
So what if they know, and we how we've looked in the previous, you know, 7 games, whatever. It's about how we look on Sunday. So yeah, go man to man and go single high, and we'll take our shots. That's my attitude.
He's got to take him, though. He's got to take
him. And we got to set him up with a run game, though.
Yes,
at least the illusion of a run game.
He cannot hold it, though. He can't
No,
take down the entire time.
The first time he gets smacked by Watt or what's his name? Highsmith.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ball padding and dancing around is going to stop real quick.
Let it fly. Just let it fly. Take your drops. You see the single high. Who's one-on-one? Throw it to that side of the field. It's what's the chances? I mean, it's a back shoulder. It's over the throne. Whatever. I don't care. Throw it to him though. Give him a shot.
And we hear quarterbacks always talk about that. You know, you don't really throw to the man. You throw to the space, right? You throw where your guy is going to be or should be. You know, and maybe that speaks to why we've had some struggles, because we got Jordan, who maybe isn't fully trusting his arm, and he's trying to steer these balls in, you know, like steer them directly into the hands of guys rather than just, hey, lay it out there. And, you know, my gosh, if there was a guy to go out there and get it, it's Christian Watson. You know, let's give him a chance to make these plays. Not that we haven't. We've taken our shots, but I think we can do it a lot more often. I really do.
Yeah, I remember a quarterback that didn't steer any throws.
You think God never farted?
Yeah, that man,
all he did was hum him.
Rocket ball every time.
Rocket balls, baby. Every throw he was trying to win the Super Bowl, man. Every throw.
Definitely. Jim Tyson in the chat says, I'm still bitter about taking Kevin King instead of TJ Watt.
Oh, no.
Just say it's tough, boys. Hey, listen.
Breathe.
You know, I want to forget it too. Like, our boy, who is it in here? Josh Martin said, you know, it's been 6 years, time to get over it. I can't. When I watch TJ Watt play, I'm like, God, how awesome. Could you imagine him and Rashawn Gary together?
We just got our TJ Watt, all right? He's wearing 90. Let him grow into it.
All right. Okay. Straighten me out.
There we go.
Okay.
You got him. You turn around. He's right there. You got him on the wall.
Right here, right on the wall. Right.
Damn.
There it is.
There it is. The Luke Ness monster.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Speaking of Luke Ness monsters and things that we don't know if they're real or not, I'm just going to flash that up here real quick. Okay. I'm just saying. I don't know. All right. Let's go here to the let's see. Got us a super chat from Josh Martin. He says, as we roll into the second half of the season, do you think you three think we make the playoffs? Yes or no? Man, do I hope we make the playoffs? I like that question better. Let's do it. That's a perfect. See, Josh Martin, y'all don't know it. He's actually a producer.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's steering the ship over here. Let's kind of look at the schedule. And I want to show the schedule real quick if I can find it. Bang. All right. So when we look at our next 4 games, it's perfectly underlined too. How professional is that, man? All right. At Pittsburgh, obviously, we're 3.5-point underdogs. Okay. Then we got the LA Chargers at home. We're 3-point underdogs. Then we've got the Lions up in Detroit. We're 6-point underdogs. And then Kansas City back home, we're 6.5-point underdogs. So basically underdogs for the next 4 weeks, especially those final, weeks 12 and 13, right? So with that being said, we're 3-5 right now. If you can win 2 of these, right, then you're going to be 5-7, and you're going to have 5 games left, Tim? Is that correct? I believe that's correct.
Yeah.
So if you can somehow, some way win 2 of these games, then I think coming out 5-7, you've got a chance to win 9 games, right? Let me drop this down real quick. Yeah, because after that, it gets a lot easier, guys. The New York Giants, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Carolina Panthers, the Vikings aren't a pushover, but still a winnable game. And then Chicago. if you somehow, I'm going to go on a limb here. So you got me fired up now, Josh. If we come out the next 2 weeks or the next 4 weeks and we somehow win 2 of these games, I can see them running the table weeks 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Because if you beat 2 of these teams, Pittsburgh, the Chargers, the Lions, and the Chiefs, if you win 2 of those games, then I think you're going to have enough momentum to be able, if the team is prepared to run the table and possibly make the playoffs. I understand it's a long shot, but I don't know, man. When you look at it, too, as far as how they rank, Pittsburgh, this is according to PFF, overall ranking, okay? And again, Josh, thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. We appreciate you so much. Pittsburgh, their overall grade, according to PFF, they're 26th in the league. I think we're 17th or 18th right now, okay? So, yes, we're 3.5-point underdogs. I got it. We're on the road. All those things matter. But according to PFF, our guys are playing better than Pittsburgh's right now, okay? The Charger game, they're ranked 17th overall, according to PFF, okay? And it really all comes down to matchups, right? That's the big thing. I don't look at the Chargers as having a fantastic running game. I really don't, right? Justin Herbert's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But our pass defense, our coverage has been playing lights out, right? Our pass rush is strong. We kind of match up pretty well there. Just like I feel like we match up pretty well against Pittsburgh's offense. Detroit, they're 6th overall, and Kansas City is now dipped down to 11th overall. So when you look at that remaining schedule there, Tim, let's just kind of answer Josh Martin's question here and focus on the next 4 or really the rest of the way. He says, as we roll into the second half of the season, do we think they'll make the playoffs, yes or no? I'm going to say, if I had to bet the farm, I'm going to say no, right? But, again, if we can win 2 of these next 4, Tim, I think we're setting ourselves up to an exciting finish, if anything, right?
I agree, and I'll be one step further and be Mr. Positivity. They're going to win 3 out of 4. And I'm not going to make predictions, but I'm telling you, it's either Detroit or Kansas City. They're taking the L. We're going to win one of those games that nobody thinks we're going to win.
You're going to cause me to lose some money is what you're going to do.
Well, this is why I don't bet.
It's a line of the night.
I don't bet on my Packers, man. I never have, never will. But I'm telling you, I don't know, because you kind of stole my thunder, because that was the point I wanted to make. The Giants, the Bucks, the Panthers, the Vikings, and the Bears. I mean, run out, man. Run out and make it interesting. I don't know if 9 wins gets us in. I'd feel more comfortable with 10 getting us in. But I have this feeling that, I will agree with you that they've got to beat Pittsburgh and they've got to beat the Chargers for any of this to be remotely real, what we're talking about. Beyond that, you steal a game on Thanksgiving on the road, or you come home and you beat Kansas City on Sunday Night Football, now we're primed to go on a run. And I really believe that this team, they can. We've seen flashes. We need them to put it together. We got 2 really good primer challenging games here. The Chargers are no punk, and we know the Steelers are no punk. So
right,
we get these 2 wins, man. I feel pretty good about that team coming off a 3-game win streak going into Detroit on Thanksgiving, man. That's so I'm going to be optimistic, man. I think we can get 3 out of the next 4, and we will go to the playoffs. How about that?
We watch the Packers beat the Lions on Thanksgiving and slip off into that turkey coma. You know what I'm talking about, Emilio?
Yeah, they get the big leg. Yeah, they win the game. They got to take the chomp out of the leg.
Absolutely. What do you think, man? You think there's a legit shot, Emilio?
Yeah. I like Tim said, we need a 3-game winning streak right here. We've been on a 4-game losing streak. We need a 3-game winning streak right here to make a difference. And if not, then it's a no-go. I don't think there's a chance. But I think that now that the team are starting to get their sea legs under them, the rookies have played a couple hundred snaps at this point. They're starting to get it. I think things are going to start to click. If we get a win and then another back-to-back win and we go on a 3-game win streak, I could see us taking to the playoffs. Will I say that they will go? And we're betting the farm? Like I got to go live on the street if we do that? Yeah, whatever. Let's bet the farm. I'll live on the street for a little while. We can figure it out.
Yeah, dude. You kidding me? We're building back better. Jake Shavinka in the chat says 6.5-point underdogs against KC jumps to 10 if Taylor Swift makes a trek to Lambeau Field. Don't let her in the building. Don't let her in the building.
No,
John.
if she gets in the building and they don't give any FaceTime to Simone Biles, we're going to have problems. All right, I've already said this before. We're going to have issues. The real problem is that there's a 0 spread on the Carolina game. That's more of an issue, I would say, than anything else, unless we don't get that changed.
Yeah. I want to see a celebrity cage fight between Simone Biles and Taylor Swift.
That would be.
I'll tell you who I'm betting on that scenario.
You got that right, man. Absolutely. You kidding me? Our guys know how to date. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Got to protect this house. Paul Robertson said, Tim, you're hitting the sauce. Well, we don't know what's in the coffee mug, but I'm liking Tim's enthusiasm. Y'all about got me sold on this thing. That's what Roger Davis says, too. Get me fired up, Tim. I love
Tim's
it.
got the whole comment fired up tonight. I'm telling you.
Hey, man, when we're mathematically out, then you guys can get all doom and gloom. That's fine.
There you
but
go.
Right now, there's still football to play, 1 week at a time. You know, and I don't like doing this. We got a game Sunday. I don't like going to past Sunday. So if we're gonna go past Sunday and start going to the end of the year, as our producer prompted us to do, rightfully so.
Yes, sir.
And so I will. And if I'm going to take that ride, I'm going to be positive. I'm not going to look at it negative because it's
definitely.
You know,
Robert Allen in chat says playoffs. I just want to beat Pitt. Heard a coach say that once.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. Another game.
Another game. We can still win 13, right?
What's that?
I said we can still come out with 13 wins.
Yeah, hey, 13's still on the table, baby.
I'm sorry, 12.
12.
No, 13.
13 sounds better.
Yeah, 13.
13. I don't know which one's right. We're 3 and 5, right?
Yeah.
And how many games are left, Tim? You're the smart one.
There's 8 left.
Yeah, there's definitely 8 left. Yeah.
Or
so 11 and 5, right?
Or
Emilio.
I don't know.
No. We want to finish 10 and 7, right?
Yeah, I just want the most wins. We're gonna win out. We're sweeping everybody. Get the
everyone in
brooms.
chat's going.
Whoa, okay.
Everybody grab the brooms.
So that's okay. Now that's optimism. So Emilio's saying we're not losing another game this year. It ain't happening.
I think the team. Let's just stand on it. We can stand up on that hill. Someone can push us off at the end. I don't care.
Hey, let's go.
We're gonna give him some.
Forget about it. Oh my God, I love it.
Can you imagine though if this team like got on a streak and got hot?
Yeah.
Like, who wants to face the young Packers that just won, like 6-7 ball games in a row?
Yeah.
Like that'll be interesting.
We can be 12 and 5. Thank you, Josh.
That's right.
Helping with the math right now. We're just need a little bit of
Roger
here. Math is hard. That's the truth.
It's hard, yeah.
Yep.
Nobody's ever called me smart. I promise you.
You can call me anything you want, but don't call me that.
All right, what else we got here? Let's get ready to wrap. Oh, wait a minute, Carly Ray going all in now. She says, "At Josh, winning out equals Super Bowl." No, hey, I remember a team. God, what year it was? I think it was 2010.
Yeah, 2010.
They kind of just got hot at the right time. I'm just saying.
Weren't they kind of young?
They were
not this young, but they were kind of young, right?
They were youngish. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only difference that I see is the head coach of that team had very unkept
eyebrows.
Yeah, so.
He's got a mean line on his chin, though. Yeah, he's got a nice straight razor.
Yeah. Omar, look at Omar bringing us back down to earth, though. He says 4 losses in a row equals misery. That's the math I see possibly.
We've already gone through that misery, Omar. We just had it. We almost spiraled out of control.
Robert Allen said her Bears fans talking like that before the season started. LOL. Boy, they were fired up, man. They were convinced that Justin Fields was winning MVP and they were going to the Super Bowl. Man, I tell you what, I always, no matter, I don't care how good of a roster they field, I will always give them a
65%
chance of not even making the playoffs every single year. All right. What else you got, Tim? Anything else, dude?
No.
I think we've covered a lot, man. We really have. We got a little goofy in here, but hey.
Did you get your little project done, Clayton?
Oh God, I've already forgot. I've slept, Tim. I took a nap over here in the office.
Well, we're talking about, Coach Bill, man. Did we get I thought you had some kind of alterations made to our little featurette there.
Oh yeah. All right. So guys, we've updated the conspiracy video. Let's go ahead and hit that since we're not doing anything else productive. Y'all ready for it? Here's the new edited version of the conspiracy segment. I'm really excited about expanding that as other news breaks. You know, there was another one.
Coach Bill, I love it.
There was one I almost added. Did you guys see where Aaron Rodgers dropped his tequila on the sideline? Did you guys see that video?
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
And someone said, did you see the comments that said someone said it was an ayahuasca bong or something?
Yeah, hey, I'll be honest with you. Listen, back in my day, I have some memories. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. And when that thing hit the ground, I'm like, it looked like a bong. Let it bong do it on the sideline. But yeah, no. And then of course they showed the video of the Spanish announcer that gave him a bottle of tequila or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's funny, ayahuasca bong. Like I'm pretty sure ayahuasca is like a tea, right? Don't you just like he like drinks that in a tea or something?
Yeah,
so that's funny.
Look at this. Carly Ray says, I heard another conspiracy. Giants now trying to tank. Is that true, guys? I guess
I don't know. It looks like they've been trying since week 1.
It looks like they've been trying since 2012. You know, when was the last time they won a Super Bowl? What year was that? They won in 07, obviously, right? And then didn't they win another one the year that they knocked the Packers out of the playoffs? What was that, 2012? Am I thinking right? I can't remember. I don't know. See, that's why you never ask a question you don't know the answer to. You know?
So that was 09.
Was it 09?
Wasn't that 09 when they beat? No. When did Rodgers take?
I'm on it right now. Say something.
Rodgers took over on 08.
Okay, so I'm thinking of the game that the snow globe game with the Giants where we lost by a field goal after Brett tore our hearts out with a pick.
Which time, Tim?
That would have been 2007 then, right?
So they won it in 2008 and they won it in 2012. So I was right there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So 2012 was the last time they won it. Yeah, they've been tanking for a while now. Josh Martin in here dropping the knowledge too. Boom. There you go. Paul Robertson got it too. Love it. All right. Anything else, fellas? Any other conspiracies you want to uncover real quick before we wrap this big bear up?
Do we open one up? I mean, we got 3 minutes here. We're doing pretty good on time. I didn't think.
No, we're not, because you know what it is. We're going to look up here and it's going to be an hour and 10 minutes. You know.
Yeah, Josh is going to hit us with one more super chat, asking one more question about when we thought that we had the best defensive linebackers, pair tandem. I don't know. We got Clay Matthews. We got Rashawn. He's going to come up with something here in about 3 seconds.
Yeah, no doubt. 3, 2, 1.
Rodgers, who the only place he's going to take you to is the toilet bowl, and then you got Brett Favre, who will take you to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just saying, we're not going to talk about it.
I'm telling you, bro. Bill Huber in the back just gets me every time.
The lean.
If you guys don't recognize, next time we play, I ain't gonna bore you with it again. But the next time we play that, look in the back, you'll see at the last second a guy go, and it's Bill Huber. It's like one of my favorite Twitter follows too, man. Dude's awesome. He looked over like, oh, I got to see what Ted's face looks after this.
My favorite part is when the dude paused for effect when he was like, to the Super Bowl. Like he had to stress that.
And everybody he says it like the Turlobo. Is that right?
Yeah.
The Turlobo.
Oh,
man, we should have one of them for the 2 worst teams, right? Weren't they talking about that? Then they have to give up their draft pick or something.
Oh man. I'm with Clayton, man. Just leave our game alone, please.
Stop messing with it.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
What happens is they all play Madden and they can go in and adjust the settings. They're like, all right, I want like 5 seconds on the play clock, and I want the season to be done in like 10 minutes. Let's go to the draft.
Yep. I'm like, leave our game alone.
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
So that's what we get every single time.
I stopped watching baseball for the same reason, man. They put a clock on the pitcher. I said, oh Lord, that's it. We're done. We're done here.
We got 40 more seconds. Paul Robertson, everybody in the chat saying that if we keep it under an hour, they're going to riot. So we got.
Well, I did see earlier. Omer corrected me on my pronunciation. It's a ER, See, Omer, there's an Omar that also calls into After Dark, and I think I rolled the two, and that's on me, man. It's Omer, because people say my name wrong all the time. They say it with an A, it's with an E. Emilio, Emilio. It happens. It's no good.
How do they say it?
Emilio.
Here it is. United Bates in the chat said, "Man, look at you." United Bates in the chat says maybe the clock being 15 minutes behind is why we don't show up in the
There
first
it is,
quarter.
Bates,
They got it
right
wrong.
there.
They didn't set it. Somebody cleaned the clock over there on Lambeau, and they actually put it backwards. Right?
Did they mess it up when they did the scoreboards?
Did we get a first half touchdown this weekend?
We did. Now we're
I'm saying do we? I'm saying do we against Pittsburgh this week?
Yeah.
Absolutely better.
We need a first quarter touchdown. Now.
There you go. How about a first drive touchdown?
No, Tim, come on, bro. What are you talking about? That's
No,
crazy.
man, come on. Nothing happens until it happens, right? We could see it. I'm
Throw a
on a
deep ball.
positivity. I'm on a positivity kick right now.
Just like
man.
the Vikings game. Let's just throw a deep ball immediately to Christian Watson. Play fake, deep ball, single high. So you heard it here first.
Flea flicker on the opening play. Let's go.
Yeah, take Wicks, throw the ball.
Please don't do this to me.
Clayton's over here losing it.
If we run a flea flicker on that opening drive, bro, I'm just telling you right now.
Chalk is going to start immediately. He's just going to burn that play right to the, and it's over.
Nope, double reverse with Don Wicks throwing it down the field.
God, please, God.
I got some advice for y'all. Take 2 weeks off, then quit.
I did see that the Steelers ran a reverse to Pickens in their game against the Ravens. So,
good. Let them keep doing that.
Yeah.
We don't need to do it right now.
Well, what we need to do is get hats to the ball. We got to tackle.
We all need to move at the same time. That's what we need to do. There it is. All right, now we can end it. Josh Martin with the super chat says we need to get Watson easy catches to start the game to build his confidence. Yeah, it does seem like they kind of put him in these low percentage type, routes, if you will, right? And of course he's the home run hit, right? And I'm telling you, man, they had that sideline on that corner route. I hate thinking about it because if he hits him closer to the sideline, I think he hits the Jets up the sideline. He's gone. I really do. But that's the game we love, right? It's a game of inches. But
do you think that they would try to force some inside slants or some shallow ends or something like that, crossers to him if they are running that man on him, or do you think they're going to try to work Dobbs or have him as a clear out, as a like that kind of tornado route across, clear out, and then have something slip underneath?
For me, I immediately think of, okay, what's in the bank? What passing concepts have we ran the most?
That were successful, that work that they can rely on.
Right. For me, slot cross, they run slot cross a lot, which is basically the climb, the crosser with the backside dig, right? And you usually do that in tandem with the boundary receiver running a deep route, right? Because you're kind of spreading that safety out, that type of thing. They run a lot of slot cross. They ran a ton of wolf in that last game, like I said, which is basically a corner with an out underneath. They mixed in some pivot. Of course, they like to do a lot of pivot and a lot of whip down there inside the 5. We ran a ton more inside zone, a little bit of duo. Didn't see a whole lot of power, right? Don't remember it anyway. So when you look at some of that, they ran a ton of wrap last year. You might be able to break the wrap out, but typically wrap is a good high-low beater against zone. So, if they're going to come out and play a lot of man this weekend, it really just depends on what they want to do. And I guarantee you Tomlin's looked at the tape and said, all right, he's probably already decided we're either going to go zone or we're going to go man. And if I were to, let me say it this way, if I were to be the defensive coordinator against the Green Bay Packers and I'm trying to decide, do I want to run man or do I want to run zone? I'm probably running some version of cover 2 where I've got a ton of bodies, 5, 6 zones underneath, trying to force Jordan Love to throw deep, and you get that extra body in the box down there to stop the run. That's probably how I would attack it. So I would imagine that they're going to try to give Jordan Love opportunities to beat us deep until he proves that he can do that, if that makes sense. So with that being said, maybe we'll take the bait and say, all right, let's go 3 verts with a drag, right? Let's attack it at, attack down the seam and on the boundary.
But then at that point, if they are going cover 2 man underneath, they need to get that pressure with Highsmith, and Watt. And if not, that opens up our run game. Then Matt LaFleur needs to start cooking. I need him to start boil whatever pot he's making this week. I need him to start putting in the spices already, and they got to know what's coming up because we got to move the ball on this team, or else their defense is going to keep them in it all game.
Yeah,
I think it would be great if our coach had that, that type of swagger and confidence, and said that to our quarterback, like, "Hey, man, they're gonna challenge us to go deep, or they're gonna want you to try and throw deep. So I believe in you. Let's give them what they want. Like screw the last 7 games, man. Let's go out here and hit on these throws, man. When we have the opportunities, you got to maximize them." And Jordan talks about that all the time. We've seen his pressers all the time. We have opportunities, we got to maximize them. He knows he needs to be more accurate with the ball. He knows these things. All these things that we're seeing, there's no way that he's not seeing these things too, or he's, so he has the ability to work on this. And Sunday's going to be a test, man. I'm looking forward to it. Hey, how about the first half touchdown or first quarter touchdown? Maybe we get one from our defense too. Maybe we take a page out of that Steelers book, and we go out and be some ball hawks, and we make some scores with our defense, little defensive touchdowns.
Talking about right there, dude. I'll be all about it.
I like that. Okay, do we think Keyshawn's going to get a decent return? Do we think he breaks a 50-yarder or takes one to the house finally? Cold kick, we're kicking outdoors. The ball, it's probably going to be a little chilly.
We know for certain if it's playable, if it's a fieldable kick, he's taking it. It's coming out. So I'll tell you, I'm more not concerned, but I'm more looking forward to seeing Keyshawn put together another solid game in the slot.
I like that.
And because, honestly, I think we got depth with special teams when it comes to our return game. So in the pinch, if, we really needed to lean on Keyshawn a lot harder, there's other guys named Jaden Reed and some other guys that can return kicks for us. So, but yeah, I could see Keyshawn getting one. We know he's going to get one this year, right? I mean, you can feel it. It's going to come at some time. So yeah, hopefully Sunday that'll help too, right? A defensive touchdown, a special teams touchdown, and an offensive touchdown all in the first half. Let's go.
Take some weight off the offensive shoulders. They don't think that they have to do it all themselves. And the defense is going to want to hold around them. It's not like they're going to try to give up everything. We're a bend not break defense. It's not like Joe Barry said, if we get one touchdown, why are we going to just 2 plays in, give up a 70-yard bomb? Let's let them, work it down the field, make them make a mistake. We got to play clean ball, no penalties. We're going to have penalties, less penalties, and then, tackle.
That's right.
Definitely.
The beautiful thing about our game is that any moment, anyone can score on any play. It could happen. So,
yep, definitely. Again, Josh Martin, thank you for the super chat, buddy. We appreciate you. Paul Robertson says, how does the Packers win this game? How do they lose it? It's real simple for me, and maybe you guys just answered it in everything you said, but if they win the game, it's because they won the turnover differential. If they lose, it's because they lost the turnover differential. It's that simple for me. This is a defense that forces turnovers, right? And Jordan Love, when he doesn't turn the ball over and we get Aaron Jones going early, at least commit to that and open some stuff up at the second level in the passing game. That's when we're most effective. That's going to be my key to the game. And Jake here said, we doing score predictions tonight or tomorrow? I actually was forced to give a score prediction on the Packers Nation podcast. They invited me on. And I gave mine. I know what it was. If you guys want to hear it and then you guys want to give yours, I told them that Packers win 17-14. I think it comes down to the fourth quarter. He's going to be kicking into that open end of the stadium where it gets all, turbulent, if you will, right? A lot of wind, a lot of misdirection on the crosswind, a lot of inconsistency. And I think our boy Anders Carlson comes out and booms one through. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a 60-yarder, but I think he's going to kick a game-winning field goal with very little time left in that open end of the end zone. And when they call him out there, they're going to say, Anders, can you kick this? What do you think?
And I'll kick the bloody piss out of it.
And that's exactly with that accent and everything. Actually, he's going to get Daniel Whelan to say
there we go.
Whelan, however you say his name. It's funny, too. Have you ever heard him in an interview?
Whelan?
Yeah. I was totally expecting him to be like 110% Irish, right? And he's like,
Right.
I grew up here in the States. Like, it's normal. But yeah, I did. I said 17-14, man. I don't know. The more I dig into it, I feel good about it. Now, if we get boat race, we'll let Tim and Emilio do the post-game show, and y'all won't hear from me. That's the way it is.
Well, that's not entirely true, because I kind of had the same thoughts you did the other night.
Did you really?
Yeah, I didn't know that you were. I didn't catch you on the other pod, and I was thinking the same thing: low-scoring game, possibly a last-second field goal or something. But now that we've been talking about defensive scores and contributions from special teams, I'll just up my prediction. I'll go 20-17 Packers.
Like it, 20-7. I'm gonna write them down. Is that cool with you guys?
Yeah, write them down.
All right, Tim.
Write this one down.
20-17, right?
Yep.
All right, Emilio, what you got, dude?
27-17.
27-17.
Yeah, I think we might
one of them late touchdowns. All right,
we might put it together a little bit this week. We get a defensive stop, we get a defensive pick, score, something like that. They get the energy up. But I really think that the rookies are starting to get their legs under them. I think it's going to be a difference. And if if it's not a win back to back, it's a wrap. It's not going to look good. But I think that we have a chance to go back to back, make a statement, come out there, win by a score or two, and feel a little comfortable with it. If we go out on the road, get on the plane, go handle business, get back on the plane, come home, and every week they just got to handle that business.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'll take a 10-point win. It'll be all right.
All right. And then, of course, I said 17-14, right? So looks like
where's Jake? Jake's over here trying to get us in trouble, making our predictions. He's not even throwing his out.
Jake, come on.
Put your neck on the line, Jake.
Come on, Jake. What are you doing, dude?
He's trying to send us through a buzzsaw.
Exactly correct. Omer, I'm guessing this is his prediction, 9-3 Steelers.
Oh yeah, no, it was. Yeah, it was.
All right,
Maddie picked Monday.
Let's write it down here. 9-3 Steelers. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, there you go. Paul Robertson, 15-12, final score, all field goals. Are we sure about that? Are you sure about that?
See, Clayton, you had to go and ask Jake for his prediction.
I know
we just got it.
15-12 final score. Okay, got it.
I do like that though. A kicking battle.
Trying to get all these down. Everybody's gonna post them now. My hands hurting over here, dude. I haven't wrote in so long. Let's see here. There it says 28-18 Packers, right? Okay. Who else? What else we got here?
You got 24-18 Derek K.
Carly. Omer. Pronounce it right. My God, man. Carly, listen. We ain't worried about all the details.
You call me anything you want, but don't call me that.
There it is. There it is, Jake. Thanks for just crushing our hopes.
Thanks for playing along. All right. So Jake Shavink says Steelers 2016, right?
Yep. Carly's got 10-16.
All right.
Who's winning that though, Carly?
You know who it is. Don't even ask. Kidding me. So it sounds to me like Omer, not Omar, but Omer and Jake are picking the Steelers. To the best of my knowledge, that's it, right? Mr. Goat. Let's put Mr. Goat down.
And Larry's got 23-16.
All right, Mr. Goat, 23.
Yeah, and then RKO's got 9-17 Pack. So we got a lot of field goals, man. Everyone's excited. They must have picked up kickers in fantasy or something. Everyone wants to see some field goals. Okay, Josh, 30-10. My man, thank you. Let's get a blowout. We just had a blowout. Let's have another blowout. The team's going to get behind it. They're going to build on it. I like it.
I do too. 30-10. I love it, man. 30-10. Jordan Love comes out and throws for 350 yards. Right.
I would love to see Jordan throw for
3 tuds. And I'll be in the post-game show like,
it's my quarterback.
There. What'd you say, Emilio?
I was just saying, I think that really is going to be a big milestone once he breaks that 300. He hasn't had one, right? To my knowledge, he hasn't had a 300-yard game.
No, still hasn't.
So I'm excited for that one to happen. If it happens, outside of Lambeau, that's cool. Let's get it rolling. Then the fans might be excited when he shows up next time. I'd be cool with that. But I'm excited to see his first 300-yard game for sure. If it's this weekend, let's do it.
Yeah, I like it. All right, like I said, we're an hour and 14 minutes now, so we're way over. We did it.
We did it. Bates 27-21 Pack. I like it.
Yeah, I'm going to try to write these down, boys. I'm telling you, y'all are working me like a dog over here. What did Bates say one more time?
27-21 pack.
27-21 pack. Man, y'all giving me some false hope. I can just already tell you right now. All right, Jake Savine got the last comment of the night. He says, I think the Love 325-plus game and Watson 125-plus game comes next week against L.A., but hoping Watson gets on the board with one this week. Yeah, that'd be great, man, for sure. Again, man, if they're going to play a lot of single high and try to get pressure on Love, I like our matchup. I really do, man. You know, like I pointed out, there's only one quarterback in the league that's been pressured less than Jordan Love, and that's Tua Tagovailoa. So there should be time. If there's time and you get the right concepts called, like I said, mix in a double move or two, I think we got a chance. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Really. What did Carly just say? Oh, Carly, you break our heart. All right, so you're saying 16-10.
Yeah.
Got it. Pittsburgh.
Carly just got a towel in the mail. It's yellow. She's been spinning it around the house.
Yeah. No, I don't believe that for a second.
I don't believe it. I'm kidding.
Over with the super chat says 34-10 Packers. Man, look at this.
I love it. Thank you. I'm glad some other people are on the blowout train.
Yeah. I'm glad some people are on the blowout train too.
That's what she said.
All right, we're out of here, guys. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. We got to go. It's going to go off the rails.
Don't forget about the giveaway. Make sure you get your signed up. We got tomorrow night at midnight, right, Clayton?
Right. That's the deadline. Glad y'all mentioned it. That's why you guys get paid the big bucks. Tomorrow night, we're going to be giving away, Sunday during the postgame show, we're going to be giving away an autographed Dave Robinson jersey, Beckett style home green jersey. Obviously, Dave Robinson, Hall of Famer, played for Vince Lombardi. For all the YouTube members here on the YouTube page, members of the PTA posse, as long as your membership is in by midnight tomorrow night, okay, 11:59 tomorrow night, we will put you on the wheel on Sunday, spin the wheel to give away that jersey, okay? And again, if someone wins it that's already won a prize, we're going to spin it 3 times in case they want to give it away. Nobody's going to judge you if you don't, all right? But it is what it is. I don't want to remove people from the wheel just because they've won in the past, because you guys continue to support the channel. It's just a way for us to give back. We appreciate it. And speaking of giving back, really appreciate all of you guys with the super chats. Josh Martin bringing the thunder tonight. Over and over and over. Got Tolgirl in here with the super chat. Really appreciate you guys contributing. You make this show go, and we don't take it lightly for sure. So I'm assuming I'll do a good morning Lambo tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. But that was a lot of fun this morning, wasn't it, Tim? We had a blast. Emilio jumped on too, man. It was a good time.
Yeah, my morning break turned into, instead of 5 to 10, it was like 20-ish.
Yeah, there you go.
Got taken care of.
All right. Hey, listen. Nobody else is working in this country right now, right? So
That's it.
Doesn't matter. No. All right. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Like I said, thank y'all for the super chats. For those of you listening on the pod, thank you for making us a part of your day. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world, and go Pack Go.
The power sweep actually is the lead play in our offense.
Double tackle, take the defensive end if he's over him. If he's not, you drive down the first man who is inside. Pull back and get him. Take the first man outside the offensive tackle. No one shows. Go right by them and field inside. If the YN has the linebacker taken out, that's inside. If the YN has the linebacker in, he comes all the way around. If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.